We don't have that option on Falcon, so it's a little bit different here.
We're just inside T-minus 2 minutes and counting. The good news right now we're hearing it doesn't look like we're going to need to hold a T-minus 40 seconds as the boats are clearing
Sembrano
out of the
tutti
way.
pronti per l'avventura
Next event coming
spaziale.
up, TVC wiggles as we move the center engines on the first stage. You can see maybe just a little bit there.
Spostamenti in corso,
90 seconds,
Affascinante.
wiggles are underway as we're checking out the first stage. TVC checks are complete.
Sì, per
Next major
sempre e
event we're going to
comunque.
hear, hopefully, is the flight director go for launch at T-minus 30 seconds.
Check completati. Ci siamo quasi.
As we're coming up on T-minus 1 minute,
Si
when we
vola.
get to T-minus 40 seconds, we'll just listen in. Last time, as you recall, we did hold at 40 seconds, but it took a few seconds for the clock to recover, so we're going to watch that. And as we press to T0, we're going to watch and listen the second test flight of Starship.
Tensione alle stelle.
T-minus 30 seconds. Back to rapid recycle.
Si parte.
Back at Hawthorne, we're at T-minus 40 seconds in holding. We had a rapid recycle. We've not heard anything over the countdown net as the team works both first and second stages. We're going to monitor the nets here for a minute.
Un altro ritardo. Che suspense.
Got a little bit of an update. We're continuing to hold at T-minus 40 seconds. This is the normal hold point for Starship, as we talked earlier. Sounds like we're working just late pressurization on, I believe, the second stage. Team is working it. All the other systems are on hold right now at 40 seconds. We can hold here for about 15 minutes or so.
Speriamo non sia niente di
before we would
grave.
run out of window for this morning. So right now they're working on filling pressure vessels. And
Fingers
ideally
crossed.
we'll be able to solve this and come back and release the clock at T-minus 40 seconds. We're going to continue to listen
Tensione
and
alle
monitor
stelle.
for another few minutes.
Speriamo bene.
And it's worth mentioning here that don't go away. We are holding at T-minus 40 seconds, but once the teams have resolved and see the data that they want to see, the clock can restart straight away, and it'll start ticking down from T-minus 40 again, all towards liftoff.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while we do have the ability to hold for up to 30 minutes, we only have a 20-minute launch window, so don't go away, don't change the channel. And just like Shiva said, we can restart that clock, and there it is.
And there it goes.
Clock is rolling. T-minus 30 seconds.
Incrociamo le dita. Oh, è quasi ora.
T-minus 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Tensione alle stelle.
4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
E decollo.
position increase pressure nominal.
We are T plus 40 seconds into the flight of Starship. 33 Raptor engines powering the first stage.
Power and telemetry nominal.
We've heard power and telemetry nominal call out. We're heading downrange over the Gulf of Mexico.
Motore Raptor va che è una meraviglia. Voliamo sopra il golfo.
And that call out tells us Starship is through the period of greatest stress on the way to space. Now the next major event is hot staging in just over 90 seconds from now.
Allo
To get
spazio.
ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of the Raptor engines. Clamps holding the 2 stages together will release, and the Starship's second stage will
Preparazioni al
ignite its
decollo.
engines. Starship will then separate from the Super Heavy booster and head to space. And at the same time, the
Eccolo
3
che
engines
parte.
that are still firing on Super Heavy will flip the booster around. 10 more engines will ignite for the
Booster in
boost back
posizione,
burn,
si va.
putting the first stage on path for a splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Flip is splashdown. Wow.
Engine power continues to look nominal on 33 Raptor engines. We're about to shut down the first stage and perform staging. Let's watch and listen.
And acquisition of
Motori al top.
Houston
Ecco
and
lo
New Orleans.
stacco.
Booster engine cut off. Stage separation.
Segnale acquisito. Houston e New Orleans in linea. Frecce cut off. Roger. Separazione riuscita. Che emozioni.
You're hearing the cheering. The first ever successful hot stage for SpaceX's Starship.
Incredible views of our Super Heavy booster.
OMG, proprio come la mia
as you
canzone
can see, the Super
preferita.
Heavy booster has just experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
Siamo vicini alla
However,
svolta,
our
ragazzi.
ship
Questa è
is still
storia
underway
spaziale.
with
Ship
all
avionics,
6.
power and
Booster
telemetry nominal.
felice e noi
And we just heard
felici.
there, ship avionics, power and telemetry nominal. All 6 engines are lit, as you can see from the GUI there at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Now, we did know that the that hot staging was going to be incredibly dynamic. We knew that there was a chance that the booster would not survive, but we're going to take that data and figure out how we can make the booster better for the next hot stage.
Yeah, that hot staging put a lot of load on the
Oh
top
no,
of the
sembra
booster.
che ci sia stato
And
un
of course, it
piccolo
flipped around there,
disassemblaggio
dynamic stuff
inaspettato,
happening.
ma la mission continua.
The ship is still going strong.
Nick,
And
spacchiamo
it's doing
tutto, anche i
great.
booster.
Right now,
Lul.
the ship, the second stage, is on its way. Like we said, you can see all 6 of its
Hot
engines
staging
are
selvaggio,
ignited.
vero? Prendiamo quei dati e next level booster.
The next major milestone for
Flip,
the
flip
ship
e dinamicità, go,
will
go.
be the shutdown of those engines.
Starship fa
or
scintille,
SECO.
go go second
Second
stage.
engine cutoff, which if you follow our Falcon 9 launches, familiar terminology there. So far, today has been incredibly successful, even with the RUD of the Super Heavy booster. This is amazing.
Seco incoming.
Primary
Speriamo non
objective of the
faccia
booster
boom.
today to get to hot staging, to get ship on its way to orbit. It did that admirably.
Super Heavy fa
Yeah,
cose
we definitely
incredibili,
Starship
wow.
trajectory nominal.
All right, great news there. That trajectory for ship is
Acquisition of
nominal.
signal, Cape Canaveral.
Missione
Once again,
compiuta.
Starship's second
Andiamo
stage
nello
is
spazio.
firing those engines, and as you just heard,
Tutto
everything's
procede
looking
secondo
good.
i piani.
Now, for the ship, we wanted it to survive hot staging, which,
Sì,
as you can see
bruciano i
there by
motori.
that little dot on your screen, it did. We also want to basically demonstrate that the successful startup of those engines, demonstrating controlled ascent, which is what it's doing right now, and eventually orbital insertion. We are hoping to basically send this around the Earth, and if it makes it this far, splash down in the Pacific Ocean, a couple hundred miles north of Hawaii. Now, if we get that far, like all of that sounds great. Secondary objectives for ship, again, continuing to gather engine data and about its health, performance.
Nominal ship chamber pressures.
Great news there. That tells us that the chamber pressures inside of the Starship, again, that's that small dot on your screen, basically the propellant pressures in the ship are looking good.
Yeah, the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see essentially a user interface showing us which engines are lit. So the three center sea-level Raptor engines on ship are gimbaling engines. The three outer engines in the triangle, the larger ones, are Raptor vacuum engines. All of them continuing to fire nominally. So they're at the pressures that we expect to try to get into our target trajectory today.
Yeah.
And we're not targeting orbit today. We're targeting almost orbit today. That's very intentional as part of the mission design. The goal is to get to a thrust profile similar to what we would need for orbit, but also to get to the energy levels that the ship would need to dissipate for re-entry. And so we're actually going in a suborbital trajectory today, but that trajectory will get us to the energy levels that we need at re-entry, where we can really stress that heat shield and get valuable data on re-entry. And those calls that we are still on a nominal trajectory here and seeing nominal pressures means that we have a really good shot of hitting our target orbit.
Yeah. Now, if the booster had survived, we would be around the time where it would be getting ready to land, performing its re-entry, but it unfortunately did not survive. That being said, that's okay. It survived several seconds after hot staging, so we're going to take that data and improve the hot staging sequence and probably improve the hardware itself for the next flight.
Che peccato per il booster. Ma dai, raccogliamo i dati e proviamo ancora. Hypercat Jam, balliamo tutti insieme. Ottimo, imparare dagli errori è il modo migliore per migliorare. Secondo quello che so, tutto ok per il Nick. E tu? Speriamo vola. Se fa boom, ci rifacciamo con una meme review.
For a call out here. Coming up on the projected time that ship would shut down its engines.
Tutti in attesa. Speriamo in un go for launch.
As you can tell by the excitement from the crowd here at Mission Control Center in Hawthorne, there's a great view of our Star Command Center. That's our control center
il solito spettacolo pirotecnico di SpaceX. Almeno Starship ce la sta facendo.
Everyone is super excited.
Deve essere un casino lì.
This has been so far.
Eccoti, il Nick. Che la live abbia inizio. Wow, l'energia è contagiosa. Go SpaceX!
And I mean, up to this point, major successful milestones through hot staging, which was the big objective today.
Con Starship subito.
So we are going to head into the coast phase. Planned for the
Siamo
next
andati
about
oltre,
hour and
ragazzi,
5 minutes. We'll be
successoni.
returning around the T+1 hour and 15-minute mark. And that's while we're waiting for Starship to continue on to its next step
Costa
for re-entry.
spaziale, qui
We're
veniamo.
not totally sure what video we're going to get, and that video comes normally by overflying ground stations, but we don't
Sempre
have a
top,
ton
Giassone.
along our flight path. So fingers crossed that
Prepariamoci.
we will get some via Starlink on this mission since we're testing that out. And also give us a moment. We are hearing
Starlink
some chatter
alla
on the net,
riscossa.
so we're going to try to parse that for you.
Chatter intrigante.
John Innsbrucker back here
Ah,
in Hawthorne
Giasone,
at our
sempre con
webcast
queste
desk.
idee strampalate.
We have lost the data from the second stage. We had heard a call out that we were internal guidance, which means we were getting near the end of the approximately 6-minute burn
Se l'uomo
of
con il
Starship.
cappello copre tutto,
But
come fa a
we
vedere
haven't
dove va?
gotten any more data since then, so we think we may have lost the second stage. So we would not be into coast phase. We wouldn't be able to come back in an hour or so and possibly get ready for
Ah,
re-entry.
il Nick.
However,
Elon
what
è
we do
tipo
know
quell'NPC
right
che
now
non
is we
puoi
had an
evitare
on-time
nella
launch
quest
at 7
principale.
o'clock.
Elon Kun,
We got through
lascia
the
spazio ai
boats.
tecnici.
First stage looked beautiful with 33
Ops,
Raptor
sembra che
engines
il secondo
firing.
stadio stia
We got
giocando a
the hot
nascondino con i
staging.
dati.
You know, the thing that we really wanted to see and impressed. We saw the separation. We saw the flip maneuver. We saw the light up of the 6 Raptor engines on Starship. And it headed
Sì,
away.
Giasone,
Everything
a
really
fare
looked
cosa? A
good.
dirigere la Starship.
But what we do believe right now is that the automated flight termination system on second stage appears to have triggered very late in the burn as we were headed downrange out over the Gulf of Mexico. But the real topping on the cake today, that successful
Sembra che abbiamo perso il secondo
Shiva, the
stadio.
hot
Ma
staging
ehi, il
is
lancio è
just-
stato
just beautiful.
spettacolare.
Exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, ultimately, what honestly such
Ciucciù
an
è un maestro
incredibly
nel fare
successful day,
disastri,
even
ma
though
anche
we
nel
did
recuperare,
have
come un vero
a
eroe.
RUD or a rapid unscheduled disassembly of both the super heavy
Oh no,
booster and
un'autodistruzione
the
sul
ship.
secondo
That's great. We
stadio.
got so much
Speriamo
data,
non
and
sia
that will
nulla di
all help us to
grave.
improve for our next flight.
Of course, and that's why we flight test, and you can bet that there's going to be more to come. So we really do want to thank you all for joining us. Of course, we want to
Rud,
thank the people
più che
of
un
Cameron
lancio,
County.
sembra uno
We want to thank
spettacolo
all the federal
pirotecnico.
agencies that have supported us for our test.
Buongiorno,
And of course,
pronti
a
per
huge
un'avventura
congratulations
spaziale?
to the entire SpaceX
Più
team on
voli,
getting
più fuochi
through this
d'artificio.
flight test today.
Sera a
And I think
tutti.
with that, we're
Eccoci
going to
qui
sign
pronti
off
per
from here in
Starship.
Hawthorne.
Thanks so much for tuning
Grazie
in, and we'll see you next
SpaceX,
time.
sempre un piacere vedere la scienza in azione.